Hi, I'm Dr. Karen Wolf, and I'm here to talk about the effects of sugar on the body. And I hope after listening to this short webinar, you'll be able to speak to people with a little more authority and understanding about the importance of stabilizing their blood sugar. And then I'll be sharing some information about the new exciting active nutrition line and how it fits in with what I'm talking about. So I am going to share my screen here and pull up my PowerPoint. Here we go. So for those of you that don't know me, I am a Diamond Director. I've been with USANA 16 years, and I'm very passionate about educating people about their health, just like you are. And I have a particular focus on educating about sugar and educating about gut health. So today we are going to focus on this very important topic of blood sugar. And none of this, of course, is medical advice. This is information and lifestyle advice that hopefully you can take on and learn and share with people as you're talking to them about the importance of stabilizing blood sugar. So what's really helpful is just to have an understanding of what it feels like in the body to have a balanced blood sugar and what it feels like in the body to have an unbalanced blood sugar. So we've all probably had both experiences. So when your blood sugar is balanced, you feel energetic and you're tired when you should be tired, focused and relaxed because of the effect of blood sugar on the brain. The brain really needs glucose, so we need to keep our blood sugar nice and even. And your memory is good, you're able to concentrate, solve problems, see all the effects of the brain, even tempered. So when your blood sugar is unbalanced, you tend to get tired all the time, tired for no reason, restless, confused, having trouble remembering and concentrating, irritable because that the blood sugar balance, and you'll see as I'm progress through this, is our blood sugar going up and down also reflects on our mood going up and down, our ability to concentrate going up and down. So just this one concept of stabilizing your blood sugar, and that's even the wording that I use, is so crucial to pretty much every function of our body. So some of the conditions that are associated with excess blood sugar, when your blood sugar is too high too often. Now it's normal to have, say, a meal that might have more carbs than usual and our blood sugar goes up, but then if we're well controlled, insulin will bring our blood sugar down. But if over the long term our blood sugar is prolonged, increased, then diabetes and metabolic syndrome and liver disease and heart disease, obesity, high blood pressure, dementia, these are conditions that are often associated with excess sugar. And if you go to askthescientist.com, they have some really good articles on this topic. So I really encourage you to utilize that resource. One of my favorite books that I talk to my clients about is by Dr. David Perlmutter, and it's The Surprising Truth About Wheat, Carbs, and Sugar, Your Brain's Silent Killers. Now, this book is a big wake-up call for people to realize that stabilizing blood sugar is not just about feeling good or controlling our weight, but it's also critical for the operation of our brain. And research does tell us that someone with diabetes has a 2 times risk of Alzheimer's disease. So it's a very close link between stabilizing blood sugar and good brain health. So let's talk about the United States of diabesity. Diabesity is this mix of blood sugar out of control, diabetes, and obesity. And this is an epidemic. And it's a term that you could use with people so they can understand the risks of having blood sugar out of control. So if you're not mindful of eating low glycemic and eating to stabilize your blood sugar, then you can lead to metabolic syndrome. This is a series of blood markers like high blood pressure, cholesterol, all mixed together called metabolic syndrome. Sometimes we call it pre-diabetes or diabesity. And that can lead on to diabetes. So you can see that prevention is the best medicine. If we can just look at blood sugar. Now, I'm going to also tell you about what that means. What does high sugar look like? What are the numbers? Know your numbers. And I also tell my clients that. So if I have a group doing the sugar cleanse, then I actually encourage them to get a glucometer and measure their own blood sugar. It's not required, but why not? Just to know what your blood sugar is doing and start to take control of your health that way. So some of the signs and symptoms of diabetes are diabesity, that's before you get diabetes, is cravings for carbohydrates. Pattern of nighttime eating, I hear that all the time. I'm sure you do too. Expanding waist size, increased resistance to weight loss because nobody told them that stabilizing your weight has everything to do with stabilizing your blood sugar. And just tired all the time, inability to concentrate. These are all signs and symptoms of diabesity. And this is a graph that I made that's just to educate about this, what I call the glycemic roller coaster, blood sugar going up and down. Now, ideally, your blood sugar needs to stay in this blue zone, the normal zone. It goes up and down a little bit, but it doesn't have the spikes. So up in the red area is the danger area. So when our blood sugar goes up too high, then insulin comes out. And insulin is designed to decrease your blood sugar or bring your blood sugar into a normal range, but sometimes it dips too low. And then down here, your body gets under stress. And then another hormone called cortisol is secreted. Cortisol is gluconeogenic. I love that word. Glucose, neo makes genic. Gluconeu makes. So it brings the blood sugar up again. So you do not want these spikes because, as I said, this also reflects your mood, your concentration level, your energy. So we want to stabilize blood sugar, which is the theme of this whole talk. And it's something that is easy to talk to people about. So here's an example. Whenever we thought that orange juice was the best thing to have first thing in the morning, was a little mistaken from a nutritional point of view, because when you have juice and a bagel, they're both high glycemic. What happens to your blood sugar? It spikes up, especially on an empty stomach, goes right up. And then what happens is insulin is designed to drop that blood sugar down to your ideal range, but sometimes it dips too low, and that's when cortisol comes out. And cortisol is that stress hormone, remember, gluconeogenic. And so all day, this happens. Typical day on the standard American diet. So we need to address this. We want blood sugar in that normal range. Our brain and body need carbs. This is not about sugar-free. It's about good carbs, the right amount of carbs. And the spiking of blood sugar and insulin is what creates inflammation. So it's not carbs are bad. We just want to learn how to eat healthy carbohydrates to keep our blood sugar where? In the normal range. So this is a picture of a glucometer, and this is not required, but just the thought for you, if somebody is having those spikes and they really want to be their own health detective, then you can get a glucometer very inexpensively and they can test their blood sugar over time, because just doing your fasting blood sugar once a year just tells you that one point in time what it's doing. It doesn't really tell you, well, what happens if you have a bad night of sleep? Your blood sugar goes up. What happens if you're really stressed? Your blood sugar goes up. And then what happens after a meal? So it's good to kind of track your blood sugar. It's just another way to have health empowerment. So here are some numbers just to give you an idea, because what are normal blood sugar levels? So ideally, a fasting blood sugar is between 80 and 100. Even 100 is a little high, I think, but 80 to 100. So impaired glucose, which might mean a diabesity range or pre-diabetes, is 101 to 125. And then, of course, your diabetes is up in the 126 plus. So you want your fasting blood sugar here, 80 to 100. And then after eating, you see your blood sugar does go up. Depends what you eat, but it goes up. And then 2 to 3 hours after eating, if your insulin is working well, it brings it down again. So these are, you see different numbers. These are not exact numbers, but it just gives you an idea. And that's why I like people to have a glucometer to test their fasting blood sugar at different times and after eating, and then 2 to 3 hours after eating, and track it. And then they can take that to their doctor and have a conversation about what's really happening with their blood sugar. So I just think knowing your numbers, it's just like knowing your vitamin D blood level. It puts you in charge of your own health. And then you have different things you can take to your healthcare professional to have different conversations, because we are not replacing health professionals, of course. We are just educating and informing. So the other thing that I really do like to follow is glycemic index. Now, it is not an exact science, because when you mix foods, the glycemic index changes. So it's not exact, but it's a really helpful guide. So glycemic index is a measure of how quickly a food increases your blood sugar, and it ranks from 0 to 100, where 100 is top of the scale. And so generally 55 or less is in the green zone, and then medium is 56, 69, and 70 or higher is red, beware. Now, this is not about foods being good or bad. They have just different effects on your body. And if you are trying to stabilize your blood sugar, it's good to kind of think about the foods that are lower on the glycemic scale and eat more of those, like broccoli. Surprise, surprise, 0. And strawberries, 45, they just kind of hit that mark. Now, if you eat strawberries and yogurt, remember, this changes the glycemic index. So this is only a guide. But what I like to educate is about all of these processed foods like bran muffins or bagels that hit that higher level. And even some fruits that are very sweet, cantaloupe, watermelon, higher on the glycemic scale, where berries are lower. And then we get up in the red zone, bagels, and isn't it amazing that cornflakes is 92? Cornflakes, because why? It's processed. Anything in a box that's been processed has a higher glycemic index. So eating closer to whole foods, WHOLE, the more whole foods you eat, chances are the lower the glycemic index. And this is all just helpful as we adapt to a new lifestyle that I call a low glycemic lifestyle, or a sugar buster lifestyle, where we're taking in good carbohydrates, because remember, our brain and body need carbohydrates, but we're mindful of how they affect our blood sugar. So high glycemic foods will do this up and down and up and down. They release energy really quickly, but then we get that crash and burn. Whereas lower glycemic, like broccoli, has a stable impact. And you'll notice that foods that are higher in fiber have a lower glycemic index, because fiber slows the blood sugar rise. You also feel full longer. That's why the Active Nutrition Fiber G is such a great product, because it's a prebiotic, it's a fiber which slows down your blood sugar, it helps you feel fuller longer, and it is really good for digestive health. So I'm a big fiber lover, and if there's one thing that Americans need is more fiber, because the average American has about 6 grams of fiber, and we want to get up to the 25 to 30 a day. So fiber is good. Now, also reading labels is really helpful, and it can be very surprising for people. So when you have someone that is, say, going to do your sugar cleanse or is going to use the Active Nutrition products, then you might want to provide a little education about how to read nutrition labels so they're eating good whole foods alongside of their wonderful USANA products. And I just put this one up because it's so very tricky. Just because something says it's organic does not mean it's healthy. So this one is organic green tea, right? Green tea is helpful, is good for you. And notice on the label, there's organic appears many times, but let's read the label. 5 servings in this container. 1 serving is 12 fluid ounces, 120 calories. So it's like, okay, 120 calories is not too high, but look at the sugar. 30 grams of total sugar, 29 grams of added sugar, no protein, and I don't see any fiber there. This is going to spike up your blood sugar really high. So I caution people, if you are going to have this and you choose to have all of those sugars, then make sure you have some nuts or some yogurt or some protein, something that'll slow the blood sugar rise. But reading labels is really important. Now, I highly recommend, I already talked about Ask the Scientist. They have a fabulous article on understanding the glycemic index. So you just go to askthescientist.com. In the search box, just put glycemic index and you'll get this article. It's very comprehensive, very well written, and it's something that you can share with your clients. So you can actually share with your clients and customers. And when you go to Ask the Scientist, just be sure that you click the little button on the side that puts your ID number so that when they get this article, it's linked to your USANA account. So let's see how the USANA Active Nutrition, or some of the new products, supports this concept of stabilizing blood sugar. So you probably know by now that some of the features of the new Active Nutrition line are they're all gluten-free, non-GMO, which is fabulous, and natural ingredients, very convenient, and low in sugar or no added sugar. And I'm going to highlight here just a few of the Active Nutrition line that falls alongside of this topic today. So as you know, in the United States, we have chocolate and vanilla Active Nutrition Nutrimeal, and they are single sourced proteins. So they're all whey chocolate and vanilla and all soy chocolate and vanilla. And this is really convenient because, as you know, the chocolate Nutrimeal now, the original, let's call it, it has both whey and soy. And some people need that single source protein. So again, they're non-GMO, gluten-free, of course, low glycemic, and they have balanced macronutrients. So they're so fabulous for a meal on the go or for a jump start where you're actually wanting to jump start your journey into a low glycemic lifestyle. So let's look a little deeper in the label of these products. So the good news is there is more protein than the original Nutrimeal, 20 grams of complete protein in each meal, both soy and whey, 9 grams of healthy fats, 8 grams of fiber, which is the same amount of fiber as the current Nutrimeal, and a vitamin and mineral blend, which is great, and 8 grams of added sugar, which is less sugar. So less sugar, more protein, good fiber, healthy fats. Now let's just do a comparison between the Active Nutrition Nutrimeal and the original Nutrimeal. The big difference is the lower sugar alternative, fewer than 10 grams of sugar. And of course, the protein source is a single source, and you can choose whey or soy. So I like this particular slide because it gives us some talking points, because we want to educate our customers, not overwhelm them, but have these talking points on the tip of your tongue. So single source protein, prebiotic fiber blend, vitamin mineral premix. Those are really important talking points. And of course, they're low glycemic and only 10 grams of sugar or less, and 2 flavors, chocolate and vanilla. So here you'll see a comparison. Oh, I went too fast on that. A comparison. The sugar in the Active Nutrition Nutrimeal, 10 grams. In the current Nutrimeal, 17 grams. So we're talking about balancing your blood sugar here. So this is a really good choice as a lower sugar alternative. And Active Nutrition also has, as I said, more protein, 20 grams per meal, whereas the current Nutrimeal is 15. So you've got some choices, and they taste delicious, by the way, in case you haven't tried them yet. And haven't we just been waiting for snack bars forever? So if you have not tried this peanut butter snack bar, you're in for a treat. If you are a peanut butter lover, you are going to love this snack bar. 4 sources of peanuts. There's peanuts, peanut flour, and it is so filling. Now, it's quite small, yet it's so filling. I think because peanut butter, if you've had peanut butter or almond butter, a little bit goes a long way. So they're low calorie, great snack for whole family. I'm excited that this is a snack that children will really love. You'll be able to put them in their lunches. It's a snack on the go that you know they're getting really good nutrition. It's gluten-free, vegan. It has some apple cider vinegar as an added sauce, 3 grams of protein, 3 grams of added sugar, 4 grams of fiber, and only 110 calories. This is a fabulous snack on the go. And the great thing is that people use snack bars. I don't know about you, but I use snack bars. And I've had to buy them elsewhere. So when I go to the store, I get snack bars. And when you're there, you see all the other protein sources as well. So it's taking our customers away from our store when we don't have snack bars. And as you probably know, USANA has its own food manufacturing facility now. So this is just the first of many snack bars to come. And I am very excited to add to this repertoire of snack bar that USANA is going to be making. So you know I love to look at labels. So let's look at the label of this snack bar. We looked at a label before where it had 30 grams of sugar in one serving. Let's go to the carbohydrates here. Total carbohydrates 18, fiber 4, so it's got good fiber. Total sugars 3. There's only 3 added sugars. This is a snack bar you can stand behind. Has 3 grams of protein and 110 calories. So your talking points are gluten-free, non-GMO, healthy, convenient snack, full of flavor. If you love peanuts, you're going to love this snack bar. Lower in sugar, low in calories, no artificial ingredients, good source of fiber. So remember I said 4 sources of peanuts? There's peanuts, peanut butter, peanut oil, peanut flour. It's peanuts everywhere. And it's gluten-free oats. That's why they can actually say it's gluten-free, because not all oats are necessarily gluten-free. So it's so important that you let people know about that. And the pricing is amazing. The price per serve is $1.28 per snack bar. And that is lower than I have seen in stores for something super healthy. So you now have amazing information. I'm going to stop sharing my screen about how to educate your clients and customers on balancing your blood sugar and the importance of balancing your blood sugar and what a lifestyle means to balance your blood sugar. Now, I haven't covered all the other aspects like regular physical activity and good quality restorative sleep and good hydration. All of these things contribute to a healthy, low glycemic lifestyle. But I wanted to really focus on that blood sugar balance and knowing your numbers, and really having the Active Nutrition line as a really highlighted product now for you that you can say is lower in sugar, and that you will try it yourself, yes, and so you will have your own experience to be able to share with your customers and your clients. So I'm sure I'll be seeing you again. Enjoy the Active Nutrition line, and I'm sure I'll be bringing you more education in the future. Bye for now.